Welcome, 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 people. It's your boy Killah Bee, and I'm your host on this new channel called The High Council. My co-host will be Brother Heru and Chris Harris, who will be on pretty soon. And we got our first guest tonight. We got Immaculate Vieves. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about what the channel is about. We're going to get into a little discussion and just see how this thing rolls. Just see how it goes. Brother Heru, I know a lot of people already know you, but you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
This is Brother Heru. Thank you for that. This is the Comedic guy on the High Council Killah Bee's channel, bringing a fresh, new, and exciting platform for everyone who would like to have their perspective or belief heard about their doctrine without the interrogation, without being cut off. You know what I'm saying? Without being double teamed. This is the channel. This is the platform to do it. And we have other platforms that Killah Bee will introduce later, but this is going to be an exciting new platform. I'm thinking, it's going to really appeal to a lot of people. And we just go do what we do.
Y'all still there?
Oh yeah, I'm still here. I think he's still messing around trying to get some of the technical difficulties out.
Oh, okay. So we're still live, right?
Yeah, we're still live. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you got quiet there.
Yeah, got quiet. Yeah, I'm kind of excited. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a channel, like I said, even with your information, I can actually listen to your information, EMAC, without trying to debunk it or refute it or anything, and just hear what you have to say without having, feeling like I need to defend something. So this is gonna be nice. You know what I'm saying?
True.
It really is. And this is a project that I've been working on for actually years. I tried to get into works, but things just wasn't panning out with the people and stuff that I was involved with and stuff. They really didn't see the big picture in all of this. And like I said, there's other platforms out there. They have a huge problem with keeping control of their panel and controlling their guests. A lot of things get out of hand. This threats, all types of other stuff. We're not about that over here. We're about the information. We're about our viewers learning. We really care about our viewers and our guests that come on the show. It's always peace coming on here. Won't be any hostility. Like I said, this is going to be straight up, upfront, everything on the table platform. It's going to be unlike any other, what you could call conscious community or that type of genre of a platform. So we definitely got some cool stuff in store for you guys. I'm going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to try to get some sponsors. I'm going to try to get some giveaways for our guests and for our viewers. So we're just going to want everyone to really interact with us. Don't be afraid to comment in the comment board. Don't be afraid to ask to come on. Just make sure when you attempt to come on, there's one thing you have to keep in mind, that your claims will be heard. Your opinions are always welcome, but you better be prepared when you come on here. So we don't want anybody on here that really doesn't have anything together. When you come, please come prepared to present what you're here to present. If you're here to present a certain topic, please stay on that topic. I'm gonna mute you real quick. Please stay on the topic. And like I said, it's gonna be me, Brother Heru, Chris Harris, and as you see me on the other channel, which is Killah Bee, the Witchfinder General. You see how I usually get down on there. On this show, you're gonna see a totally different person. I'm not gonna be as turned up. Well, I'm gonna try not to be as turned up as I am on my own personal channel. Yeah, like I said, we got a lot of things in store and stuff. We're gonna have some good guests, some new guests that haven't appeared on other panels. I want to get some companies involved with this. So if anybody have any small businesses or anything like that and would like to donate some promo to the panel, and we can make sure this stuff gets out to our viewers and our guests. Yeah, we waiting on Chris Harris and stuff so he can say his little thing. He's a little tied up right now. It's kind of late and stuff. But yeah, Brother Heru, man, I'm happy we started this. I wanted to start this like over a week ago, and we finally got it done. Yeah, so I'm really pumped and excited to get this thing going. We had an awesome guest for you guys tonight, but unfortunately he had to work late. So we're gonna try to get him on in the morning. This brother name is Sean Andrews, also known as DJ Sean Ski. He's a member of a group that's called the Thunderbolt Program. And get some info on you guys on this group so you guys be a little prepared on what he's about. If I can just get this thing right here for you guys. I got a little write up on him. Thunderbolts info. All right. They were started by a group of scientists. They have I found it really fascinating. I just found out about this morning, and I've been doing a little. I haven't had time to research the way I want it, but another name for them, they're called the Electric Universe. See if I can read the little about page on their thing here. All right, I'm going to read a little bit of it. This introduction. Exploring the electric universe. This is their synopsis. I'm in the wake of recent discoveries. A new way of seeing the physical universe is emerging. The new vantage point emphasizes the role of electricity in space and shows the negligible contribution of gravity in cosmic events. Images returned by high-powered telescopes and recent space probes have challenged astronomers' long-standing assumptions about galaxies and other constituent stars, about the evolution of our solar system, and about the nature and history of Earth. The new discoveries also suggest that our early ancestors may have witnessed awe-inspiring electrical events in the heavens, the source of myths and symbols around the world. Cut it a little short. They actually, I want to make sure I get it right. I really wish the brother was here. I can just read this part too. The cosmology. Today, magnetic fields are detected everywhere, even in the empty depths of intergalactic space. Magnetic fields cannot exist without causative electric currents. The naked electric force is 39 orders of magnitude, which is 1,000 billion times stronger than gravity. The invisible universe is constituted almost entirely of electrically active plasma. In the 20th century, the pioneers of plasma science inspired a new school of investigation called plasma cosmology. Plasma cosmologists suggest that electricity is the primary force organizing spiral galaxies in astonishing galactic clusters, now seen in deep space. The plasma cosmology has achieved surprising success in predicting major discoveries of the space age. This new perspective does not require purely theoretical inventions based on mathematical assumptions, like the Big Bang, dark matter, dark energy, neutron stars, or black holes. So that's just a little thing on it. There's quite a lot. They go into comets and stars and planetary science and stuff like that. So, yeah. Brother Heru, you got anything to say on it? I know I sent you a little bit of literature on what they're about. Well, what's your take on it so far?
Well, I'm very interested in exactly what the brother is going to present, because off of a first look at the information, the first thing that came up was pseudo. So I would like to hear his explanation on why it's not pseudo, or how do you get past that part based on the theories and the experiments, and how can you demonstrate this? So it's going to be interesting just to sit back, listen to him, then actually take the information and go dig deeper into it while holding my reservations already on it. So I'm excited to hear, because it's something that's new. We haven't heard of this. I mean, I haven't. Have you? Have you heard anybody speak of this yet?
No, never.
So
never. I had my EMAC muted. So I'm sorry, EMAC. I almost forgot about you. Damn, how I unmute his ass. Oh, there I go with my language. Excuse my language. EMAC, can you unmute? I don't know why I can't unmute him.
Yeah.
Yeah, EMAC, see if you can unmute, if you can hear us. He should be able to do it, figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't unmute him. That's weird.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, you have to figure that out.
Yeah.
So
but like I said, I mean, when you first look at it, like I said, you hear that word pseudoscientific cosmological ideas built around the claim. So it's going, like I said, it's going to be really interesting here. I've never really heard anybody push this theory or this concept. And so it's going to be something that I feel like a lot of people, when they hear it, they're going to be interested in it. There's going to be a lot of people that may attack it. And just to see what type of scholarship this brother can bring to this idea, for me, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, I was like, and what we're trying to do here is just come to conclusions. And what we see on a lot of platforms, that nothing comes to a conclusion. You can have someone on there having a presentation, then we might have someone debating it, or interrogating the guy or whatever. But nothing comes to a head. It always to the next time. How many platforms have you heard the Jesus argument? Some platforms, that's the argument every single day.
Every day, 3 times a day.
Yeah. And I understand if it could come to a conclusion maybe in a week, maybe in a month. But going on for years with the same arguments. And someone will come with information on it. Either it's fact or it's pseudo or false. They will be corrected. And then they will have someone else the next day making the same claim. And they will have the same argument again. We are not trying to do that here at all. Especially EMAC, I'm working on trying to unmute you. I don't know how I did that, and I can't unmute you.
Hey, he can always he's unmuted now.
You can hear me?
All right. Yeah, I hear you now. My bad.
All right. So DJ, right? We're talking about DJ Shonsky. So
Right.
he says that dark matter and dark energy is pseudo and does not exist. Yesterday. So if you go back to what the project, the Thunderbolt project says, you said something about that they believe in dark matter and dark energy. Could you bring that up right quick?
Dark energy and dark matter.
Yeah, where it was talking about that.
Oh, okay. What I was all right. Dark energy and dark matter. What did I see? That was it. That was the last thing I read. If I'm correct.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just giving you. Okay, plasma cosmology has achieved surprising success in predicting major discoveries of the space age. This new perspective does not require purely theoretical inventions based on mathematical assumptions like the Big Bang, dark matter, dark energy, neutron stars, and black holes.
Okay, so it says that they're not using old doctrines basically of science, that they're coming up with this new thing. So he went and says dark energy and dark matter doesn't exist. So we was explaining to him, so how does the cloud when it starts to thunder, how do you see the cloud become dark? And what is the material in space that fills up the space that we see that is dark? So he went back and said that no, that's fake, that's pseudo, it doesn't exist, we can't prove it. So we went back and said the thing that you're saying, you can't prove it either. Okay, he's saying that everything has an electrical charge, and then it becomes, or something that becomes ionized in the universe. So then I went back to telling him, okay, so air you're breathing, does it have an electrical charge? And he couldn't answer it, bro. He went back to saying, oh, it does, but then he went back and subtracted his.
We don't want to get into trying to debunk his claim on this platform. We're just trying to get the information out on what, like, you give your opinion on it, but it's not like we're trying to challenge.
Okay.
Not at this point. Not at this point, at least.
I'm about to turn up right now.
Yeah, you ready to go?
But it's all good.
Yeah, we got that. The Halls of Ma'at for that. That's another platform that we got.
All right.
Yeah, we're trying to gain some information, get some type of info on what this is all about, because it's new to me. I believe it's new to all of us, and I wish he could be on here tonight. Maybe tomorrow we can get him on here and he can explain this, and we can ask him whatever questions that we need for him to answer for us. Yeah, so like you actually have a little understanding, which is cool. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah. So you said your first guest, he couldn't come on, right?
Right. Yeah, he had to work late.
So is there some way that we could kind of address some of the things that he believe in?
Yeah, we can address what he believes in.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And you, I just want the guests to notice how I said we don't want to attack or challenge his claims on the platform. We want to be educated on what he actually believes. As you know, like Chris Harris, for instance, he has a thing that he does where he'll let you talk. You know what I mean? And you find out a lot more if you let someone speak. And when it's time to evaluate his claims, when it's time to challenge his claims, we won't, ourselves won't sound. Can you mute for a second? Wait, I can just go lower your volume instead of muting you.
You want me to mute up?
Yeah, if you can. Or I'll just lower your volume.
Yeah, I'll mute up.
Okay, thanks, dude. We're allowing our guests to come on and speak their claims, answer questions. They have a choice whether they want to answer the question or not. We don't want the guests to feel offended or feel outnumbered or ganged up on. We want to be educated on what they believe. Like I was saying with Chris Harris, he has a tendency to letting people speak. And then with letting them speak, you gain more education on what they're about, what they're trying to, the point they're trying to get across. Instead of this person getting something out of their mouth and then cutting them off. What about this? What about this? Like, you know what I mean? We're not doing that. We're allowing these people to speak in turn. We ask questions in turn. The guests will have a chance to answer them. If they don't want to answer, like, hey, I don't know. I can't answer that question. Or I don't want to answer that question. Later, we will do our panel will do our own evaluation of the interview and the lesson or presentation that the guest has used. And we will bring it to our other platform that's called the Halls of Ma'at. And Brother Heru, if you can explain to the people what the Halls of Ma'at is going to consist of.
The Halls of Ma'at is going to be another platform where we take the information that the guests presented during the council. There we'll weigh it based on the scholarship and was he being genuine in his knowledge? Was he trying to, or appeared to be trying to mislead someone in his knowledge or in his presentation based on information? Was he straightforward in his information? So we're going to be essentially, in symbolism, is weighing his heart versus the feather. And if we find out, like, say, maybe that he made a mistake or he said something wrong, maybe he truly believed this information, or then this information will be brought to him, and he says, oh, you know what, you're right, I messed up on that. Then the brother is free to go. His heart is pure. But if he continues to have constant dissonance, change narratives, negative arguments, then at that point, his integrity or his scholastical integrity or his heart will be heavier than that feather. And upon that, then we go where no one wants to go. We go to the Witchfinders General channel where he burned them up. We go into Duat. And essentially, that's what the Halls of Ma'at is. So when we see everything from the council, we will bring the information to you, and you will go on trial basically for that information. When you have the time to kind of clear it up. Because the council, was we ask questions, we're not challenging you, but our questions are based for more clarity on what you're presenting. Not to attack you, just to gain more clarity. And then once we gain that clarity, it'll be weighed. Once it's weighed, we'll see where you fall. And one, either you're cool, you're good, and you continue on, or the other one is you go to Duat. And everybody know who've experienced Duat with the Witchfinder General. You've seen the channel. You don't want to be there. So basically, that's what it is. And it's a stage and a progression of how we're doing everything. But we aren't attacking anyone personally. Ad hominems is to a minimum. I know sometimes it can get into that. In Duat, everything is game. I'm just telling you that right now. There's very little rules or discretion when you get to that spot. You did something. And so that's the platform, the process we're gonna go through with the Halls of Ma'at, going from the council. So y'all stay tuned. Oh, also in the halls of my, if you have someone you want to bring up on some charges, you can bring them. It's a clear platform. The council will judge to see exactly where we're going to go with this in the kind of a debate platform, but you can bring them to the halls. And at that, same system will apply. So, like I said, these joint channels that are pretty much merged into one is going to be something where you're going to have to stay tuned to exactly what's going on with someone. It's like, you know, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and you know what I'm saying? And it's going to keep you entertained. It's going to keep you educated for the most part. And you're going to get a lot of information, which is going to be really nice. And you're going to get a lot of different perspectives without the yelling, the cussing, the, you know, the slandering, all of that stuff. And so brothers are going to actually be able to present information. They're going to be able to defend themselves on information from accusations made based on their presentation. And it's going to be in a very orderly form. So y'all will definitely see a difference in these 3 platforms and how the progression goes. So that's what you guys experience. Killah, you still there? EMAC, you can unmute yourself right now. You know, while these brothers are getting back on, one thing I do want to say is that when you come on, please bring your sources, read your references, read the whole article, not part of the article, because, you know, we will be doing fact checking. We will be looking up sources. We will be doing, you know, we'll be making sure that the information is legit and it stands up to a scholarship. So all new concepts, theories, perspectives, opinions are welcome, but have something behind it. You know, negative arguments, logical fallacies will be dismantled very quickly, and it'll be exposed. Not in the council, but down the line, it'll get there. So that's where we are with the platform. We got EMAC. EMAC has already got something lined up that we're going to set up with. I don't even want to tell everybody because I'm you know, I'm a little bit excited about the whole channel and the platform. But if he does what he says he's going to do, EMAC is going to change a lot of things for some people in the doctrine and how the way they move and even on their platforms. And he's going for the juggler right away. So most people, what they do is they try to kind of romance you. They try to play, you know, chess with you a little bit, maneuver. He's not doing any of that. He's going straight for the juggler. And, you know, if he's successful with what he's trying to do, then no one will be able to come after him until they can get over that, if they can get over that. And there's no biases here. There's no popular vote here. None of that. So he's coming with some strong information, just from information that he told us. He's coming with that, and man, it's gonna be something that's gonna make y'all scratch your head, you know. You know, EMAC is always reading. You know, I've had 2 discussions with him, a debate with him before. He's always reading. He's always educating himself and checking his sources. You know what I'm saying, and bringing out new information. If you ever watch him on his channel, so. We don't always agree, but we are cordial and we friendly to each other, and we do kind of share some information back and forth. And that's the way it should be in a scholastic environment. Or, saying this is just debate, this is not war, this is not physical war. So, you got anything else you want to add, EMAC?
There's a couple of things I want to add, but I kind of have a change of plans because I'm actually training somebody tonight, so I won't be able to pull out the information of some of the things. But so some of the things that are we discussing the information of about Judah's belief, or how are we gonna do this?
Well, since our guest is not here tonight, you can as part of the council, what you can do is you can present some information on, I guess, a fallacy or whatever you think is maybe incorrect in some argument, and we'll listen to why. So that'll be
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But we are not asking any questions. We might ask for clarity, but that's it.
All right. So one thing I want to get into is I want to hop in the New Testament. And then I also want to hop in the book of Timbuktu by the author Windsor, Rudolph Windsor, right? A lot of the camps get their information from, his source and some of there's other different sources, but one of the information that they say that when, let me pull out the verse and let me read the verse so the people will get a bit of clarity. But go ahead and speak while I pull out the verse. Daniel.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, you can speak for a second if you want. I'm just gonna pull it up.
So as you can see, it's a great platform. Like I said, if you have questions about somebody's doctrine or belief, you might want to challenge it informally, but bring it up to the council. This is a good place to do it. But as you can see, even on a short notice, the brother's bringing his sources in why. It's just not, well, this is what I believe. He's actually bringing some type of sources, or he's referring you to a reference. Even if you can't pull it up right then, the argument is valid when you can do those things. So that's going to be different when you hear people speak on this panel.
All right. Dan, you can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
All right. It says, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 16. Okay, it says, so let me start at 15, then I get into 16. It says, so when you see standing in the holy place, the abomination of desolation described in the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand. And then verse 16, it says, then let those in Judea flee to the mountains. Then 17 says, let no one on the housetop come down and retrieve anything from the house. All right, let me stop there. So some of the camps, they teach that when the Jews left from the mountain of Judea, that they went and they scattered down into West Africa, and that's when the white man picked up the Africans and they picked up Jews that was there, right? So I want to know what mountains did they flee to in those days, and he needs to show me a geographical like a map of Judea, and I want him to show me which mountain did they flee to, because I have proof that the whole place of Judah, the whole is built on a whole mountain. It's a big mountain. So the whole place of Israel is built on a mountain. And then when they fled into the mountain, he has to tell me how did they flee into West Africa when they fled into near like under Jordan, and they fled under where the river is, where the mountain is. So he will have to present his information, which he's probably going to go to Timbuktu, because that's where they Timbuktu also says that when they fled from the Roman Empire, from the destruction, they went into the mountains of Judea, and then they ended up in West Africa. But that's not what the text says. The text says they just went into the mountains of Judea to get away from it. They didn't say anything else. So he has to present his information and show me the migration patterns of West Africans leaving Israel, and where did they go after, if the text says they just went into the mountains. That's basically it.
Okay. So, so by him presenting this and you making this argument, what is your overall statement for this information you presented out? What's your stance?
What's my information that to what?
No. What is the purpose? Like, what is your intent for asking him for this information of the migration patterns? The sources of Matthew and Timbuktu.
Right. So the attempt would be that the information that he's receiving, proving that Israelites went into West Africa, is pseudo.
Okay.
The information I have is the actual geographical map where it shows the mountains of Judea is not in West Africa, and so he had to show me where his people left out of the mountains. You know, if he has anything in the New Testament that says they left from the mountains and then they went somewhere else, he had to present that information. If not, it would be pseudo.
So would it be safe to say that if he presented this information or tried to present this information, and
Right.
he proved that the migrations of his people went into West Africa based on migration patterns, historical event, archaeological or archaeology or anthropology, if he cannot prove that these people went to West Africa, that the people that are now into America, into the diaspora, are not Hebrew.
Yeah, so he will have to prove that to me, and then he will also have to prove if this actually did happen, then who are those other West African prior to the diaspora of the Jews leaving Judea, or the mountains of the Judea, going into West Africa?
Can you repeat that again?
All right. The people that's already in West Africa, he will have to prove if the Jews going into West Africa, the people that's already there precedes that migration going into West Africa. So basically what I'm saying, the people that's already in West Africa, he has to prove how did the Jews go into West Africa during 70 AD if their people was already there prior to the migration.
Oh.
Right. And then I have archaeological evidence that's proven inside of the British Museum that has West African archaeology inside of the museum of those people before the Jews. So what he will have to do is show me some type of evidence on the Assyrians, on the Assyrian stela, showing those same people on the tablets, on the stela, some type of archaeological evidence that he could prove showing West African in that region, in that area, practicing Abrahamic faith.
Okay. And just for the viewers, you mentioned a couple of sources. You mentioned from Timbuktu. And you also mentioned the book of Matthew. Now, just for some the viewers who may look at this later, are you talking about the book of Matthew, or are you talking about the book of Matthew, a separate book, or are you talking about the book of Matthew as it is in King James version?
Yeah, the King James version.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the book is called From Babylon to Timbuktu. So this is the book that they get the information from, Rudolph R. Windsor, and it was published in 1969. So this is around the same time where the camps rose from. So another topic that I would like for your guest to also prove to me, the information that he supposedly have, is from the time where Abraham rose out from the land of Ur of the Chaldea and going into Syria, and then also going into the land of Canaan. He will have to show me some type of archaeological evidence to prove his people was in the land of Ur, first of all, and then he will also have to prove the migration patterns of the West African people from that area rising into Syria and then into the land of Canaan. He will have to prove that Abraham, his people in the land of Ur, look like the phenotype of the West Africans. That's what I would like to for him to provide.
Okay. So you're looking for not only archaeological evidence, but you're also looking for a genetic evidence as well as in phenotype.
Yeah, more the characteristics of the people in Iraq.
Okay.
I want him to show me any of his people prior to that time. He has to show that to me.
Okay. Well, that's going to be quite a bit of information to show. Do you think he will have the ability to show it, or is or is this just or you just testing his scholarship, or maybe his honesty in scholarship?
I would really like to debate with him on maybe the platform or maybe on Solomon's Vision. I mean, anybody. Basically, that's basically the whole doctrine that I'm presenting to the community.
Okay. Okay. So about putting this out there, you might get some fish maybe bigger than Judah. The claim that you're making is a very loud. It's not even an accusation, but I'll just say statement based on this Black Israelite doctrine. Their whole prefaces of being an African of the diaspora is that they came from West Africa.
Well, I don't want to say specifically African. I don't like to use that word. More of the people from his region where he was picked up from people from that area. I want to say, because people like to use the word African really loosely, so it's kind of
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So when this discussion or debate does happen, will you ask Judah to kind of come to a census about certain terms? Because like you said West African is kind of loosely. Will you look to kind of establish some type of common terms or boundaries before this discussion or debate?
Well, I mean, the common ground is, the claim. I wouldn't say common ground.
Well, I mean,
prior to the debate, I mean, I would like to hear him give me a more better breakdown of why he believes it. and then we could go from there.
Well, with common ground, what I mean as far as in terms of definitions, and like you said, African can be a very vague, broad spectrum. So instead of using, like you say, African, you would say like, maybe like Igbo, or, something that y'all both agree on the term, which can be used in the discussion to home everything in. That's what I mean by common ground.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if he could give me, the names of the people, and then also give me any type of information about, the genetics of those people being there already before coming. So basically, he will have to show me how did the Jews ended up going into Africa. Let's say like Igbos, or the Lemba tribe, right? He will have to show me how did the West African leaving the mountains of Judea going into West Africa when the Yoruba people of Benin was already there prior to the migration. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely see what you mean. And
Yes.
why is genetics so? Why is genetics an important piece to your debate or your discussion? Um, because most people tend to get away from that piece of or that part of a discussion and go directly into the biblical narrative. So can you tell me why that would be more important than him actually going into the narrative?
Well, the genetic of, because we don't have anybody from the biblical times to actually go and check the genetics. I could agree with people when they say that, but genetics could give us a good interpretation of the families, the branches coming out of where supposedly the claim of the migration was from. The genetics will give me the sequence of the people that matches his vibration of those people that supposedly said there were Jews coming out of that area going into West Africa. And then he will have to show me how come the genetic matches the people in West Africa 100% if they were already in that land prior to the Jews rising, becoming a nation. He will have to show me how his people was in Egypt. He will have to show me also how did the Hyksos come into Egypt around the same time that Israel was a nation in Egypt, coming out as a nation. He will have to show me his people on archaeological evidence on the walls. He has to show me that.
Okay. And do you think that the biblical narrative will play part or could play a big part into his evidence?
If this is not interpolations, because a lot of interpolations that goes on, if we could stick straight to the text and actually look at what the Greeks say and what the Aramaic says, we could go ahead and use the actual biblical narrative to figure out what his claim is.
Okay. And, will he be able to use Hebrew terms, like say in the Blue Letter Bible, to make it within the text? Would that be okay?
Say that again.
Would he be able to use other sources and lexicons for translations of words that might lead to his conclusion that this migration happened? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes they go to the Hebrew word and say, well, this is this, or this what this is meant. Would that be something that
Well, See, here's the problem with that. Like I said, there's a lot of interpolations. So and a lot of assertions go on. For example, there was a brother by the name of Yashar, and he was debating the brother King of Africa. He went and say, since the Ivory Coast of Senegal is called, I think it's Ivory Coast is in Senegal. I'm not sure, but
it's close. It's right there. You got the
okay. So he made a claim that the the coast was referring to the word Ibri, which means Hebrew. And so when King of Africa rebutted him, he said it does not mean Hebrew. It means white, because the European was in the Ivory Coast looking for elephant tusk. And elephant tusk is used for piano keys, and the tusks are white. So that's why they call it the Ivory Coast. So a lot of assertions comes from interpolations of the actual Hebrew words. And so they will say that, oh, since we see Hebrew there, it must be that they migrated into West Africa. Well, if you look at the word Iberia, Iberia also means Hebrew, and it means to cross over the rivers from the Iberia, which is Spain today. They will have to cross over the river, so that's why they call it Iberia, Hebrew, to cross over. So for him to say that ivory also means Hebrew to cross over into West Africa was pseudo, and it just means the ivory tusk of the elephant that used for the piano keys. That's all.
Okay. Well, based on the information that you presented, or the actual, I would just say the information that you presented and what you're looking for, it appears that he has a lot of work cut out for him. It's not going to be something that he was going to be able to say, look at this and look at that, and here's a verse, and it's going to suffice as evidence to substantiate his claim. I do want to make a prediction that, based on you calling this information out, I think that you're going to get more people that is going to want to take you on this stance. That's what I see. I see a lot of people who is going to challenge you on the information, and will ask you about the sources and comprehension of your position or your information that you got. Based on that, can you tell me how soon or when would you like to do this? If we can set it up, when would you like to do it?
I really want to do it on Solar Minds Debate League, just because of the new ranking system they got, and also because of taking a win and a loss.
I need to keep out this every month.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But you know that he's not on Solar Mind. He's not in the debate league.
Right. So
how would that affect you?
So we can have a dialogue or discussion on it,
Okay.
basically. But if he would like to get on the debate league and we could debate about it, we could do that if you want to bring out the information. But I'm willing to hear him and his information and present it to me if he would like, and we could go from there.
Okay. Well, I do believe that Solar. I know last season he said that you could debate somebody unofficially in the league. It just wouldn't count, but you could debate them. It wouldn't count as a record per se, officially. But that would be something that we could definitely have Chris talk to Solar Mind about and see
I would like to cut in real quick.
Yeah.
We're not associating with Solar Vision Debate League, so I'd rather we not like act or presume to the people and stuff that we're involved with that. This is something. This platform is totally solo from any other organization or platform that's out there. So I just want to state that.
Okay.
True that.
Okay.
Let the people know.
Well, I mean, it's good information. So, I mean, I guess the first thing is to get Judah on here where he can present that information to you, if he would like to.
I'll get him on here. He actually sent me a message.
Okay.
I forgot to read it. He said that he has another interview with Sodnetter coming up. And I believe that's tomorrow. So he said, let me find this email, man. I don't know why I don't see it right in front of me, and I just messed it. Judah, there it is.
Yeah, just check
Judah. All right.
You do one side, and then you can do the other
Set it up
side.
for Saturday.
Leave out, go downstairs, go through the garage. In fact, I'll go show you. Let me show you my normal routine.
So you say that he's debating. He's going to have another discussion with Sodnetter on Saturday.
Yeah. He got a Sodnetter coming on his platform tomorrow. Oh, Sodnetter's coming on his platform tomorrow. And he said set him up for Saturday. He'll be here on Saturday.
Okay. So
I'm presuming that it might have to be earlier. I don't know if he got to work or anything like that late night. I know he works early in the morning, so I'll work out a time for him to come on here.
Yeah. So it'll be something that, hey, it's going to be something. It's a good way to set off the season. Good way to set this channel off.
Yeah. Well, yeah, dude, this shit's gonna be hot. So like, it's all me now. I don't have anything really holding me back.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So you guys are gonna see the work that I'm gonna put in. You guys are gonna see the work. The things that I that should have been done 6-7 years ago. So yeah, I got full reign. I ain't really gotta be waiting on people and shit like that. So there's gonna be a lot of things going on over here. It's gonna be a lot of things going on, and it's gonna be worth tuning in. It's gonna be worth for debaters or people that want to give presentations and stuff like that. It's gonna be worth something to them. I will promote your platform. You come on and you support my platform. I have no problem supporting your platform. You have a presentation to make. I have no problem sharing it out, letting the people know about you. If you're a new organization, you have a business or anything like that, I have no problem. You can come on. You can speak about your business. Yeah, so like, it's pretty much open. You support this platform, we're gonna support you. We're not going to be the what's the word I'm looking for? The flunky group. That's the best way I can describe it right now. It's kind of late. My mind's not firing off the way that it should. Plus, I'm a little out of my element because I'm usually used to talk down here on the Killah Bee show, the Witchfinder General show, and that's until like I got to go into a telephone booth like Superman when I go on the Killah Bee show. But here on this whole regular Killah Bee. Well, yeah. So, if anybody got any great ideas that you can contribute to the platform, just send me a message, my inbox. I'm gonna have my email in the description box starting tomorrow. And so far, this is awesome. Like, nobody turned up. Like, the endless fighting, the topics with no conclusion. You know what I mean? They're gonna see the difference. They're gonna see the difference, and they're gonna actually enjoy, and they're gonna want to engage and stuff with us on this platform. Like, this is like a freestyle show. I'm gonna make a couple more changes and stuff to it. Got it there for now, but fit in the box. But we're lost my thought. Heru, take over.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just building on what you were saying, you know, this platform is going to be different than a lot of the platforms. Because first of all, we're not competing with any platform. We're not associated with another platform besides the ones we are associated with, which is the ones that's through Killah Bees. And as I develop mine with Killah Bee, we're not, like I said, we're not competing. We have no animosity towards anyone about their, you know, their doctrine or their perception or, you know, any of that. And it's just really about getting information out, getting it out to the people, having a place where you can actually speak, you know what I'm saying, and not be harassed about it. So that's going to be, it's going to be good. I mean, me and Eric have talked before, and this is one of the most mellowest discussions or talks we've had. And it came to a conclusion of exactly, you know, what the purpose and intent of the questioning was and why he had an issue with what Judah was proclaiming or accusations that he was making, which, you know, sometimes you don't really hear. You just hear a bunch, you hear rants, you hear accusations, you hear claims, but you never hear the why. And I think that EMAC did a great job of digging that out. I think he did a great job of giving supporting statements for his for his reasons for asking these questions or wanting to have the discussion. It was done without emotion. I mean, it was very intellectually done. Scholarship was there with the initial presentation for the call for the discussion or the debate. You know, it's something that, like I said, that as we work to do better, I truly believe more and more people will subscribe and will look at this channel as a non-biased channel for other content, as we even, you know, critique other debates and shows and give our own perspectives on it and fact check and see what they said, what they said wrong, or and give our take on it. And one thing that we will hold true to is, when it's something we believe, we will tell you this is what we believe. We will not assert it as fact, just our belief or our opinion. When it's fact, we will back it up with the sources of why. So you will never be debating us. You'll only be debating or having a discussion of difference on the information. And that's the way it should be. So, Brother Killah, you got something else? And this line of hosts and panels is going to be just filled. And I can just imagine what Killah Bee is going to do in the future with this. You know, as far as it being just, you know, with taking phone calls and emails and texts. And I mean, the brother is a very smart brother, very intellectual, ambitious brother. He does a lot of things with electronics, has a lot of knowledge. So I can just imagine how he's going to build on this platform. And I look forward to, even seeing EMAC do some lessons or some presentations on some information that he got, or as he finds out new information, just putting it out there. And maybe even, hey, I give someone, welcome anyone who may disagree with the information or has conflicting information that wants to bring it out where I might have went wrong or what they feel may be wrong. And that's how the scholarship should be presented, as in you put it out there, and if someone can find a weakness in the information, then they call it out and then they assert what is right with what was false. And that's how all scholarship is done in academia. And that's the way that it should be done on other platforms. And as we continue on, we'll have music, we'll have different things on here. You know what I'm saying? We'll definitely make it entertaining for everyone, not just dry talk back and forth, And sometimes, you'll see we'll turn up, but we'll turn up in moderation to make sure everybody feels comfortable. I would definitely like to see some of the sisters, the women, get on here and share their perspective. But the sisters will be, we always want to be respectful of the women, but you will be held to the same accountability and the same treatment as the men, when you come on here. So it's going to be something that everyone is going to want to see how it turns out as time comes. Go ahead, Killah Bee.
Yeah. Sorry about the interruption and stuff. We have some bad weather here, so my connection was as good as it's been all week. My connection was excellent all week. Today was the only problem. We had some severe thunderstorms and stuff.
Are you still storming, Killah Bee?
But yeah, I don't know what I just missed in here, but I was saying something. I lost my. Yeah, I'm still with
on
you.
mute.
I'm still here.
Nah,
you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I can hear you. Yeah, I was just talking.
Yeah, but before we go out here, since you're gonna smoke, push on that exit over there.
Okay. All right.
Hey, you can hear me, Killah Bee?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you fine. Loud and clear.
All right. Well, I wanted to address some of the things Daniel just said. So, Daniel said a very good point. He says, this is how the academia works. Huh? Say that again?
No, go ahead. I hear you.
No, go ahead.
I hear you. Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, so he made a good point. He says this is how the actual academia works. So he says people will present the information, and then others will actually come and. So, I'm sorry, bro. And that others will come and actually challenge the information. And this is how scholarships work. They'll take the information, they'll go over it, and they will, test out the theory. They'll build from there. But that's actually a good point, because I deal with archaeological evidence. A lot of my information that I deal with. So when people start dealing with relics and archaeological evidence, that's when you start seeing brothers fold. That's when you start seeing people fold, because the archaeological evidence goes against with the doctrine that they're teaching. So the academia would be challenged, and that's how the information will be updated. So that's a real good point about, for the platform here. Bring the information, let us see the information.
Right.
We could go from there.
Right.
Yeah, but that's about it. That's all I had to say.
say also, I am so happy, Brother Heru is
So
part of this platform.
when I go, so when we go out there,
I just message Chris
Joe?
Harris. I think he hear me.
Wait, hold on, Killah.
Oh, he's talking.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead now, Killah. What were you saying?
Okay. Yeah, I believe he was talking to somebody. But yeah. I messaged. Yeah, I messaged Chris Harris. Just like a few minutes ago, and I told him I was like, "Yo, hey, Ru's a pro at this." Yeah. I'm like, wow. I'm blown away. How you handling this? Good. And I know that was you. That's why I was like, no, I mean, I'm like, yo, hey, Ru getting down with this. But now I see you at work. I'm just like, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. I'm totally blown away. It's on the Wiz Friday General show right now. I'm like, wow. I'm like, yo, really doing the damn thing right now. I'm like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. Like I said, man, this is like I said, man, this is exciting, and like I said, you know,
yeah, I'm so
just like people build on people, and the atmosphere of it, is good.
And for cocking, this guy, this person's name. Yep, absolutely. Hey, we got Willie Grits in the chat.
Willie Grits in the chat. Oh, that's cool. It's always nice. It's always nice to see Willie.
This. I draw it. We play.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So another thing that's going to be really, I would say, refreshing, is the new topics that's going to be coming up. Not just the same old topics that what you said before. You know, we can continue to talk about whether, you know, who Jesus was, did he exist? We can talk about Abraham, whether he exists. We can continue beating up on the Bible or validating the Bible or validating Scripture. But there has to be some type of progression onto these things. You know, you shouldn't really be in this platform and still having to base on old information. You should be able to bring new information onto that, and that's how it continues to go. For instance, right? So, and I always refer to with stuff that Chris Harris did, or even yourself, or Killah. Like if somebody like you say, okay, well, you say, well, show me the phenotype of these people that moved down, and let's just say a brother couldn't do it, right? Now, another person wants to challenge you. They should have to bring something to the table that would move the discussion forward based on what the person couldn't present. They should be presenting new information, not reframing old information, because the conversation or the debate, the discussion is still there, right? We don't want to continue to beat up on the information. You should be able to bring something new to the table where we can move forward. And I think that's what's going to be really interesting. It's going to be, it's going to get heated because, like I said, based on just your premises, I mean, it's just not Judah. We got a whole community that believes like Judah. Reads the same doctrine, the same passages, precept upon precept, same ideology as far as in the, how the Black Israelites left in 70 AD after the second temple was destroyed during the migration patterns, and then they went to West Africa. So, I can see different angles being hit, and I can also see you being challenged. So that's what's going to be exciting. Not just the fact that you question him, but when they come back, I feel like, you'll be able to handle it because based on from what I know of you and the information that you're presenting and already just, you're spitting out fire, with the sources. It's going to be good. You know what I'm saying? It was, I remember on Solomon, Solomon, your first interview.
I think Tower One does that one.
Huh?
No, go ahead. I was talking to
your first interview with Solomon.
Right.
I remember when you did it. I remember the day. You were in. I don't know if you guys was next to you. Your washing machine was in the background, and through all that, they were trying to rank on you. Solomon said, "Don't take them lightly. You'll be a force to reckon with. Don't take them lightly." And you proved that to be true. In a few instances. So. It's going to be, and it's also going to be interested in seeing how have you progressed from last year? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let me build off of that what you just said and some of the things you just said. We have to upgrade our information. That's the key. That's called wisdom. Without wisdom, you're not gonna excel in this platform. You're not gonna excel anywhere. You're just gonna be stuck in the same old doctrine that you was in back in 2006. Come on. So, for example, let me use Chris Harris for example. I seen from the beginning. I seen Chris Harris grow. He came from the platform on Sal's platform on Debate Talk Radio for you. But I seen him grow, and he went from being a Christian, dropping the Christian and going into the Old Testament. So what he did, he upgraded his information and he changed up his doctrine. Me too. When I used to be, about the One West, I used to believe Puerto Rico was Ephraim. I updated my information because I got my ass bodied. I got bodied to the ground, bro. So what I'm trying to do as part of one of my ministries is get people out of the false doctrine, including, I'm not going to say my people because they believe in a false doctrine, but everybody. Like, I want everybody to get out of the false doctrine and start looking at the information differently and upgrade it and evolve from it. That, a lot of people are not doing that, so.
Oh, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Because as we all grow, and like I said, like you, I've seen Chris when Chris was in Torah Nights. I've seen how he went. I've kind of told him some things. I'll use the word prophesize about the way he changed and what was going to happen if he continued to look at information. And one thing I've noticed about people who are genuinely looking for the truth and into scholarship is that they will continue to look at new information regardless of how it affects their their doctrine or beliefs, right? Because like you could have stopped. Chris could have stopped. I told Chris one time, I said, Chris, you keep doing this, man, you're going to be dangerous in both the Torah and in the African spirituality, Kemetic stuff. But people who you are close to is going to turn on you. They're not going to understand it. And he continued. He could have stopped because it would have been comfortable. But he's grown from this. You know what I'm saying? And you bear witness how you've grown. And everybody's growing. And I think that this is what's going to make this channel, this platform, is going to be a great place for people to come discuss, challenge, share information, challenge information. You know what I'm saying? and it's a ongoing thing. It's just ongoing. You know what I'm saying? So,
and share and challenge like adults. Know what I mean? I want to have some, like, maybe some college professors come on. You know what I mean? Some people with some PhDs, doctorates, master's degrees, and come on, and they're not going to want to deal with that because people on that level deal with people that speak civilized, and no one doesn't agree with the other. They know how to control themselves, and there's no like crazy violent outbursts like you won't see that here. If you do, it won't be for long. Trust me, especially if Killah Bee here. Yeah, I said, like, I got plans to have a lot of cool things going on that you guys don't see, and the surrounding platforms, and I'm just, it's official to be building official just for the channel owners. Is not going to be just that are on the panel. It's not in some way. So that's the goal here, and learning is at the top of the list. I don't know. Start streams anytime that you set up the streams and stuff.
Hey, Killah, and one thing that
it's not hard. It's not really hard.
Hey, Killah, one thing.
But yeah, that's cool. So like, if I'm not around and my connection is all hard, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, why you saying that so you can continue building it. But one thing I want to mention, and you can stress, is that we do not play that's the white man's knowledge or information. We don't play that. Knowledge belongs to everybody. And either the information is right or the information is wrong. It doesn't matter who presents the information. It only matters the accuracy of that information. So when somebody presents something, you're not going to devalue, to generalize, or marginalize it because it comes from a white person. If it's correct, it's correct. If it's not, it's not. You know what I'm saying? And we will look at intent, bias, history of the source, and stuff like that. But that's another thing that will definitely be different than a lot of other platforms. And Killah, you've been around longer with this, so you can expound on that a little bit more on how this is going to be a difference and a change.
All right. Yeah.
What's wrong with Killah Bee?
I want to shut this thing down before my connection gets way crazier than what it is. No, I'm here. It's just bad weather. I keep dropping. My connection keeps dropping.
Okay.
But I think since Heru's a manager, like, it won't mess up the screen. I think it'll just give his happen. Yeah, so we might have to do some tests on that just to see, like, so I know what's what. What's going on at the time when things happen here. I wanted to say, but Heru, you're doing an excellent job. Excellent.
Thank you, bro.
I could wrench. I could breathe a little bit on the panel. My panel and stuff like there's no time to breathe. Like I'm constantly doing something, trying to listen to the panel, trying to all that stuff all at one time. It's a lot. So like, yeah, it's good to have some. Like, it's not. We're not gonna be playing that all.
Yeah, I think his mic dropped again, or his But E Mac, if you can unmute yourself for a second, and
Yeah.
what is your take on that? Because I'm sure you've heard that before when you try to present information, and they say, "Oh man, that's the white man's information." Oh, this. What's your take on that? Emac, you there? Well, it seems as if the channel itself might have dropped. I'm not sure what exactly is going on. But as we deal with these technical difficulties, what it will do. Okay, you back. All right.
Yeah, let's shut this bad boy down so I don't have any more.
All right, then let's do it.
Yeah. So you got any last words?
Hey, tune in. Same bad place, same bad channel.
You got it. You got it. Eric, you got any last words for us? So we close it on up. Okay, he's at work, so he's probably busy with something. But yeah, everyone, welcome to the High Council. I'm Killah Bee, my co-host Chris Harris, brother Heru. Like we said before, we get a show improve, and it's going to be beneficial for everybody out there. Everybody's going to be here to have fun, to learn, to build, to uplift each other. And once again, this is the High Council, where your claims will be heard, your opinions are welcome, but you better be prepared. Have a good night, y'all. Thanks for viewing.